I have ran a lot of businesses throughout my life so far, with a few of them making up the majority of all the money I've made. Now, not everything's gonna make you money. A lot of the things you're just meant to learn from. Whether you learn something good or bad, that's what it all comes down to. Now, we'll start it right off with my first business, which was in kindergarten. Now, what was it? I was selling pencils. Me and my mom, whenever we went shopping, I don't know if they still sell these, but there was these pencils. They came in 10 packs, and they were all colorful, and you could bend them all. So after I bought the pencils with my mom, I would take them to school the next day, and then I would just tell everyone about it. It started off with me just telling my friends, like, hey, I have these pencils. If you want to buy it, I'll give it to you for $2. And I'm pretty sure the packs were $4 or $5. So I was profiting a fair amount from them. And from telling my friends and my friends only at first, I started getting referrals or other people from different classes and their friends. And the thing never really grew that much because I got told to stop by the teachers, and at the time I just did. I also got to deal with my first angry customer because I think I spilled something on him, and I told him I'd make it up to him by giving him a free pencil. But that was my first business. At the time, it was the best thing I could have done. In today's time, based on where I am right now, this would be the worst use of my time. So we kind of just have to put it at that. I'm not sure if this was the second thing I did or not, but it was also really early into my entrepreneur journey. It was drop shipping. This is the worst way to make any money. This is the worst business model ever. The reason why I don't like it and the reason why I don't think it's good at all is because it's not real value. Because it's not your product. It's not your idea. You're just finding something off of a Chinese wholesale website and then you're reselling it for ridiculous prices too. And they take ages to ship to your customer. It's just not real value at all. And now if you dropship in 2023 going into 2024, everyone knows what dropshipping is. So they're just gonna go on the Chinese wholesale website themselves and just buy from there if they want. Now, of course, I did learn from it. I learned online marketing, which I was bad at doing at the time. So dropshipping deserves its spot at the bottom. Now, the next one is charity. My first job actually was door-to-door charity. And we'll go over door-to-door in the next one, but right now we'll be focused on charity. I really enjoyed it because that was my first time actually being around a team, and it's real value because you're helping out a cause and you're selling a good feeling, which later on I found out that that is the essence of every single sale. They buy the feeling. For example, with charity, people bought so they could feel good about themselves. And then a year-ish after my first job, I tried doing it myself, but for my own company, which is how you should probably go about setting up any business in your life. Do what you did for someone else, but now do it for yourself. So I tried it. I worked with my brother and sister, but it's kind of only profitable if you're taking money from charity, which doesn't really feel too good. So I put an end to that one. Charity is pretty sweet. We'll put it right over here. IF Windows. This was my first real business that ever took off. This was what made me my first 10K and then my first 50K. Then that's when the season stopped. I got to hire my first employee and then got to my first team with this. This was my favorite thing that I've done so far because it's real value again. We got to help people clean, of course, their windows, like in the name, which is what we started off in the beginning, but then we diversified and started doing gutters, started doing pressure washing and everything too. And the profit in this was really, really good. The only thing that sucked about it was just that it was seasonal. We really only did it for spring and summer before we had to call an end to it. Still, this is my favorite thing ever, and ideally I'd want to run it again next year too. So this one is going towards the very top. Now, copywriting. At first, I did this to try and sell copywriting to other people, which no one actually cares about. I made no money trying to sell my services to anyone online, which really did suck at the time because I enjoyed it. Now, a good thing about this was that this was my intro to persuasion writing and selling using words. I also cold outreached for the first time, which again, it didn't work out at all. I sucked at the time, but I got to learn from this. And on top of cold outreaches and persuasive writing, I think my writing has gotten better from when I first started to when I stopped doing, which is a big win. Writing is a really important skill for anyone. So copywriting as a business was pretty bad for me, but the experience was pretty good. Now, sales, more specifically door-to-door sales, which is what we did for the charity job and for IF Windows to get most of the customers. But sales in general is what led me to have all the success I have in my life. I would say that sales essentially made me. I also got to meet my mentor in my first sales job, and I credit all of my business success to him because if it wasn't learning from him and learning everything him and his team knew about sales, I would not have been able to start IF Windows. I would not have done anything with my life. I would probably be working a job that I don't like right now. It really helped me build up my mental. It really helped me just push my limits too, and experience money too. And I tell this to every single person, sales is the most important skill you'll ever need in your life. If you can learn how to sell, you'll never be poor. So for that reason, we're taking it straight up to the top, S tier. Now last one we have is investing. We'll split it up into two parts, stocks and crypto. Now stocks, not really a big fan of it because everyone invests in the stock market. Now I made an okay amount of money off of investing in stocks, but it's just really not worth it. And back to the last point, if everyone's doing something, it isn't good for you. Now, like drop shipping, but in a completely different category, I don't think stocks are value at all. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, everyone knows him. He goes really in depth in this on his books as well as any of his videos if you want to watch. But it's essentially a fake asset. It's not real money. Now, on the other side of this, we have crypto, which I am a big fan of because this is what I made the third most money from. Now, the reason I really like crypto is because the government, of course, has no control over it. It's completely by the people. It's a good thing to be into as long as you're not investing into the bad coins. Now it's real value because a lot of these coins too, they have use for it. On top of that, it's becoming more and more popular by the day. The reason I really like this is because I have just been able to predict the market for the past few years that I've been into it. So I've just been enjoying crypto a lot. But I genuinely do think it's real value and I do think it's here to stay. That's essentially every single business I've had. Also, sales jobs are like running your own business because you're in total control of your income. I hope you gained something out of it. Maybe you found a way that you can make money based on what I said. Maybe what you're doing right now, you found out the pros, some cons from it. And also, I just launched my website. There's a free 5 videos down there that goes into depth about my 5 basics in sales. The 5 videos together are less than 30 minutes, and I think it's really beneficial for anyone to watch if they're getting into sales or if they want to learn about sales, or not even sales, but just any type of persuasion in general. So if you want to, check it out. And with everything being said, have a good one.